I was chatting with one of the students and friend, Jack, and he brought up this conversation, this idea about using one rifle, in this case a 5.56 caliber Kel-Tec RDBC, and using it for both a training rifle, a self-defense and personal protection home defense rifle, as well as a hunting rifle in California with lead-free ammunition. So a lot of you guys may have similar questions. You know, how can you buy one rifle and set it up for multiple purposes? So let's address a few issues here. Main thing we're talking about is ammunition. Now the rifle is a fine rifle. Any similar size rifle or similar caliber rifle is going to be subject to the same limitations. So main thing we're talking about here is zero ammunition selection, okay? Let's start by a couple constraints. California requires lead-free ammunition for hunting. So what that means is if you're going to hunt California with a rifle, you need to zero with that lead-free ammunition. Lead-free ammunition in general, the hunting ammo, is probably going to shoot very differently and print very differently compared to your standard lead core, copper jacketed ball ammunition that you might practice with. So that's a big problem. The second one is that the lead-free ammunition is very expensive. So what that means is if you have the lead-free ammunition and you zero with that, then whatever else you shoot is going to be off the mark. So there's a few things you have to make and a few decisions you have to make. In the end, it's just a compromise how you choose. There's something else to think about here, which is that how much precision do you need, right? So let's say you use some lead-free, all copper hunting bullets. You might get, you know, let's say 4 minutes of angle out of it. I've had very poor accuracy results out of some of the brands out there, namely like the SIG stuff, SIG Sauer stuff, which is really on the market right now. And it's very nicely packaged, it's very pretty, but you know, it shoots terribly. To give you an example, out of the same rifle, I would get 1.5 minutes of angle with Wolf 55 grain ball ammo, and I would get 4 minutes of angle using the most premium all copper SIG hunting rounds. All right, anyways, we're off topic there. So the point is, how much precision do you need? If you zero for your hunting ammunition and you switch to your cheap ball ammo, let's call it 55 grain Wolf FMJ, if you're just using that for high volume training, then and you're at 40 yards, what's the accuracy that you really need? How does that make a difference? So in other words, if your primary purpose is to hunt with it, go ahead, zero with your hunting ammo, 60 grain copper, let's say, and then practice with your 55 grain full metal jacket. It's gonna be close enough for what you need as far as, you know, training at the range, shooting paper targets, whatever. Now, if you're gonna use it as a home defense tool or a fighting rifle, are you gonna use the hunting bullets for your home defense tool? That's probably actually not a bad idea. As long as you have a quality hunting bullet. You know, for example, you look at some of the Barnes Vortex series of bullets. They're quite good bullets. The accuracy has been pretty good to me, and I would not hesitate one bit to use that as a self-defense or tactical ammunition in and around the home or for anything you need to do. So if you choose, let's say, a Barnes Vortex or a TAC TX round, polymer tipped, all copper, hollow points, fantastic ammunition, very expensive. So you can't practice with it very much. So you can find a round, let's say a 62 grain hollow point that's going to be close enough to be on paper, similar enough to practice with it. And how much precision do you really need? Are you going to be using this to shoot a match, a 100-yard bullseye match? Okay, well, you need to re-zero with your ammunition. But if you're just going to like go to art classes, you know, Dynamic Joe's Day, for example, run around and shoot some guns, the kind of precision that you can get out of that is fine, is good enough for a BZO. So in other words, you can zero with your quality ammunition, practice with your cheaper ammunition. Now, all right, so we have a compromise. First, figure out what is your primary purpose, zero with the ammunition appropriate for that purpose, practice. If you don't need much precision, you're just using to do cheap, high volume practice, practice with whatever ammo prints close enough and is within your budget. The next thing is understand every time on a rifle you change ammunition, you will need to re-zero. Every time on a rifle you change environmental factors such as elevation and temperature, you're gonna need to re-zero. The question is, how much are you off, right? So I'll give you an example. My 243 rifle, my hunting rifle, I went from practicing with the lead core rounds, American Whitetail, to Hornady Super Performance 80 grain. And it was a humongous difference in the zero, a humongous difference, like 2 feet off at 100 yards. So it's huge. You know, on the other hand, for an AR-15, you know, I've gone from, you know, 55 grain ball ammo to 62 grain ball ammo to 77 grain Sierra Match King open tip match, and the point of impact difference, within 300 yards is negligible. I mean, maybe a couple inches at 300 yards, it's hardly noticeable. So it really comes down to a lot of other factors. For me, if I'm going to hunt in California, I would probably not choose to use a 5.56 223 caliber rifle. Now, this person Jack is looking to use the rifle for hunting pigs. 223 and 5.56 in general is not a very good pig hunting round. Your shots need to be dead perfect. I mean, I've killed pigs with 380 ACP. I've killed pigs with 38 special and 22 caliber long rifle. So, call it crossbows and bows and rifles and other things too, and 20 gauge slugs. So I've seen what pigs will do with different types of rounds. And 55 grain full metal jacket, 62 grain full metal jacket, 62 grain hollow point, 64 grain soft point, they're not that effective on pigs. Pigs are very tough creatures, and you really either need perfect shot placement into the brainstem, or you need to use a bigger rifle to do more damage instantly to drop them in a short amount of time. Otherwise, you're going to lose them in the woods. Or you're going to have to chase a moving target, keep on shooting at them. You're destroying meat. The animal's getting stressed out. The meat doesn't taste good. No good things happen from shooting an underpowered round at an animal that large. 200 or 300 pound California pigs. Northern California, grain-fed, very, very healthy, very tasty. But you need a big enough rifle to put it down. So 223, 5.56 can be done. Don't recommend it. Have done it in the past. Hit or miss on performance, right? If you can guarantee yourself a clean headshot, fine, go for it. But if you're gonna look to take a body shot, if you can hit the heart, great, go for it. If you need to quarter through a pig, you need to shoot through the chest cavity, and you're trying to take a lung shot, not good. You're gonna have a hard time finding that pig. If it's wounded, you're gonna have a hard time eating the pig. Anyways, so we're off topic there. Now, back on re-zeroing. The other thing is it takes time, it takes a little bit of ammunition, but what I recommend for you guys is understand that once you set up a shotgun, a handgun, a rifle, whatever it is, once you purchase this, you set it up with the optics, you set it up with a holster, it becomes kind of a one-trick pony. There is no perfect one-size-fits-all solution. Guns are like tools. Like you go into someone's garage, they don't have just 20 of the same hammer, 20 of the same saw, 20 of the same chisel, 20 of the same wrench lined up against the wall. I mean, it just doesn't work like that. You go into someone's workshop, they're going to have different tools of different sizes. You have hammers and saws and flashlights and chisels and magnets and calipers and wrenches and who knows what else, and pliers and everything else, okay? Different tools are for different purposes. For example, an AR-15 is a fantastic, in its original design, is a fantastic fighting tool. It's lightweight, low recoil, carry a lot of ammunition, makes a lot of noise. I mean, that's really what it's made to do. Carry a lot of ammunition, make a lot of noise for a relatively small amount of weight and relatively low maintenance for the average soldier in an infantry battle in the Cold War, during the Cold War period. That's what it's made to do, because you win the gunfight by shooting more at the general direction of the enemy, not necessarily by shooting the enemy and bringing him down right now, which is what we need in hunting. So if you're going to hunt deer, pig size animals, if you want to shoot this person, have them go down right away, you need to make good quality hits, which means you need more precision, and you need to hit it within the certain velocity range for your bullet. So you need to understand your bullet at a certain velocity. Once it slows down, it's not going to expand anymore. It's not going to do the proper amount of damage. The next thing is you need to be able to hit it in the right locations, right? So head, brainstem, heart, lung, fine. I don't do lung shots. I prefer to hit them in the brainstem. I shoot almost all of my game animals, including rabbits and doves. I shoot them in the head or the neck. But that's me. If that's not the way you want to do it, that's up to you. But just understand the pros and cons. You might lose some animals and they don't taste so good if they're stressed out and wounded. All right. So if you have a dedicated hunting tool, let that be your dedicated hunting tool. Zero it with your copper ammunition, and that's just, or your lead-free ammunition. That's going to be your hunting gun. If you have a fighting rifle, such as a 5.56 semi-automatic, a lightweight bullpup or whatever, and you want to use it with lead-free ammo, you can do that. But again, it's a compromise. It is not going to be the best of hunting tools. So, of course, Jack and I have talked over this many times, and he's very well familiar with this conversation. But I'm giving you guys some thoughts and some commentary on setting up a tool as your one-size-fits-all, one wrench to do all tasks kind of tool. If you have one wrench or one tool that can do everything, it's not going to do a good job at any one of those. But Is it worth considering? Yeah, it's worth considering, specifically if you're on a budget, specifically if you're traveling and you just don't want to carry that many things with you. You can't possibly carry that many things with you. So, there's some commentary. Let's rehash. Changing bullets changes your zero. You need to re-zero. Pick what's most important to you, zero with that ammunition for that purpose. You can train with cheap ammunition, just understanding it's not going to hit your point of aim, but if you practice with cheap ammo, if it's close enough, it's close enough. If it's good enough for your practice, that's fine. Next thing is 223, 556 is not really good for pigs. If you do want to shoot pigs, again, headshots, heart shots, they're going to be really important. Better to understand that each tool is specific to its task and set up the tool just for what it's going to do, and then if you need another task, set up a different tool for a different task. Obviously, that requires time and money and energy and stuff, and it's not a luxury that everybody has. I understand that. So just be cognizant about the compromise you're making and then proceed accordingly. You're fine. Talk to you soon. Bye.